Paul Rossi here with 910 Drones and Rick Smith with the Antioch Police Department. Sergeant Smith is going to give us a playback on how a drone was leveraged during suspect apprehension in regards to a stolen vehicle. Sergeant Smith, go ahead and tell us about this clip.
Well, what you're seeing here now is a stolen vehicle parked. This is going to be the silver car next to the palm tree, dead center of the screen. The suspect you'll see appear, he's walking in the white t-shirt in the top left corner. He's going to approach the car. The choice was made after an officer located the stolen vehicle to back off and allow the drone to take surveillance because we didn't know who was driving the car at the time. But I was able to fly, as you see, pretty strong winds there, but we'll talk about that later. But identify the suspect, appear, enter the vehicle, and start to leave. Now, going into this, talking back to the winds, this is where you have to know your equipment and also know how to fly these. Down below was probably 20, 25 mile an hour sustained wind at times with gusts up to 30. When I first launched, I didn't know if I was going to be able to maintain this. With the Mavic Enterprise Zoom, I was able to climb to a higher elevation, get out of that wind and maintain a steady position at the same time, not being moved around as much as if I was down lower. After a period of time, I could actually identify that suspect coming out. And what that allowed to happen, our units are live streaming, was able to get a description of the suspect approaching the vehicle, show that he was a solo person in that vehicle at the time, and guide officers in. I was able to radio in. As you see, I had an arrest team standing by. K9 led the point along with 2 supporting officers. They were able to take the suspect into custody without incident. I was able to document the full crime. He has no denial of possession of the vehicle because I videoed him getting in the driver's seat, not the passenger seat. At the same time, if he was to have fled, I would have been a quick overwatch as to anywhere he went. If he decided to back into my officers to assault him and it turned into some more of an incident, I would have that recorded as well. If there was a K9 deployment or use of force of any type, we could take that and use that for future evaluation and also courtroom evidence or any civil litigation. We had it documented. This suspect surrendered, and when he was later shown the drone footage after denying basically being there, even though the officers witnessed it, he just dropped his head. Again, this is something you need to train. This isn't something you can just pick up and do. You can launch a drone, but you also have to have the ability to maneuver through weather conditions, get the proper viewing angles, and know what you're doing as far as communication. This is something I strongly suggest everyone train again. If you don't train, you're going to have this, and it's not going to be a successful operation. And this, we prevented a pursuit, and the suspect surrendered peacefully, and no one was injured, and it was a successfully filed case.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Smith, for sharing that playback of how drones are being used within your department to help operations be conducted more safely going forward. So thank you for your time.
Welcome.